If happiness were a choice, would you have the courage to choose it? Hello, friends. This is an English moral story for beginners or intermediates. Let's learn new vocabulary, sentences, and the moral lesson. Today's title is Always Be Happy. So let's begin. Jack sat alone under a tree, his hands resting in his lap and his head down, the weight of disappointment heavy on his shoulders. The bright green fields surrounding him seemed vibrant, yet the atmosphere felt heavy and grey, as if reflecting the sadness in his heart. The world around him seemed so alive, but Jack felt so distant from it. Days passed, and Jack found himself sitting on a wooden bench outside a small cottage in the village. The soft early morning light bathed the scene in warm hues, yet Jack still appeared sad and lost in thought. His faded green shirt and brown pants blended in with the simplicity of the village, and the quiet lush green hills in the background seemed to offer no answers to the questions swirling in his mind. Nearby, a group of children played and laughed in the village square. Their bright, colorful clothes were a stark contrast to Jack's somber demeanor. He watched them from a distance and frowned on his face as he sat alone, lost in his thoughts. Though the children's joy filled the air, Jack couldn't seem to share in their happiness. The peaceful green fields, the bright sunshine, it all seemed so out of reach. One day, as Jack sat quietly on the stone bench, an elderly woman approached. With grey hair and bright blue dress, she carried a basket of colorful flowers. She walked up to Jack, offering him a bright yellow flower with a warm, kind smile. Jack looked up at her, his surprise clear, but his hesitation held him back. He didn't know how to accept such kindness. The elderly woman sat beside him, still smiling, and gently spoke to him. Jack thought Jack, though confused, listened intently. There was something in her gentle voice, that made him feel like perhaps there was more to life than what he had been seeing. The sunlight filtering through the leaves of the tree above them cast dappled patterns on the ground, adding a soft, comforting glow to the moment. As the days went by, Jack found himself growing more curious about the flower she had offered him. It seemed to symbolize something deeper, a happiness he had long since forgotten. One afternoon, the woman returned holding the flower again. This time, Jack reached out, his hand trembling with uncertainty, but something inside him began to stir. He took the flower, and as he did, the sunlight that bathed the village seemed to shine a little brighter. The flower, now glowing gently in his hand, became a symbol of this change. The bees buzzed around it, drawn to its vibrance, much like Jack was slowly beginning to feel drawn back to life itself. The next moment came with unexpected warmth. Jack smiled. It wasn't a perfect smile, but it was a start, a moment of connection and kindness and of hope. Jack felt a gentle shift within him. The sunlight now seemed warmer, the village more alive, the world more welcoming. The elderly woman's smile was no longer just an act of kindness. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is light if only you are willing to accept it. In the peaceful village, amidst the bright fields and clear skies, Jack began to understand the simple truth the woman had shown him. Happiness is not something that happens outside of you, it's something you have to allow inside. With each passing day, Jack's heart grew lighter, his smile wider, and his life brighter. And so, Jack learned to always be happy, not because the world was perfect, but because he could find happiness in the smallest moments. And that, perhaps, was the greatest lesson of all. Moral of the story is happiness is a choice. Choose it every day. And happiness is not something that happens outside of you, it's something you have to allow inside of you. Let's learn new exciting words from the story. Sulking, meaning feeling sad and not wanting to talk or be happy. Or bad tempered. Sentence: Jack was sulking under the tree, not wanting to smile. Hesitant, meaning not sure or not confident about something. Sentence: Jack was hesitant to take the flower at first. Buzzing, meaning a continuous sound like a bee or insect makes. Sentence: The bees were buzzing around the flowers. Somber, meaning serious, dark, or sad in tone. Sentence: Despite the bright green fields around him, Jack's mood remained somber as he sat under the tree. Lush, meaning full of life, rich in colors, and growing thickly. Sentence: The village was surrounded by the lush green hills, offering a peaceful view that contrasted with Jack's feelings. Vibrant, meaning full of energy and bright colors. Sentence: The children in the village square wore vibrant clothes, laughing and playing with joy, while Jack watched from afar. Serene, meaning calm, peaceful, and untroubled. Sentence: The village square was serene, with the children playing and the sunlight gently casting a warm glow on the ground. Resignation, meaning the feeling of accepting something unpleasant that cannot be changed. Sentence. Jack's sigh reflected a sense of resignation as he felt disconnected from the happiness around him. Hues, meaning different shades or colors. Sentence. The soft hues of the early morning light bathed the village. Demeanor, meaning a person's outward behavior or way of looking and acting. Sentence. Despite Jack's confusion, the elderly woman's calm demeanor made him feel comfortable and safe as she spoke to him. Dappled, a marked with spots or patches of light and shade, often from sunlight filtering through something. Sentence. The sunlight filtered through the trees' leaves, casting dappled patterns on the ground where Jack sat. So, friends, did you like the story? Subscribe to Hushi English Tales for more English stories with simple words and big lessons and exciting English vocabulary. Also, share and like the video. Please subscribe to my channel.